Blues scales in the key of E. What we're going to do is we're going to take the minor pentatonic scales that you learned in the key of E, and we're going to add the blues tritone. And the blues tritone is going to make the scale have a more bluesy tone or sound to it. Let me give you an example. The first minor pentatonic scale in the key of E was up here. Now if I add a blues tritone to it, listen how it's going to sound. Now the blues tritone is also called a passing tone. And it's called a passing tone because you're not going to pause on that note. You're going to play through the note. So if I was playing it, I'm not going to go and stop there because it would sound unresolved. You want to go. Here I didn't stop or pause on those blues tritones. It's a sharp 4 or flat 5 in this scale. And that's the note we're adding. We're adding this note and that note to the scale. So that's how that blues tritone, how it colors the scale sort of, and makes it sound more bluesy. It's a passing tone that we're going to add to all 5 minor pentatonic scales in the key of E. So we're going to start with the first scale position, which is on the open position, and then we're going to move all the way up the neck, and I'm going to show you all the different positions. Now you notice on the scale diagrams, I depicted where those blues tritones are within the scale diagrams. So make sure you memorize where those are, and remember it's just going to be the minor pentatonic scales in the key of E, same scale, but with this note added to it. Alright, so let's start with the first scale position. Here we go. Alright, so the first scale position is going to start on the 12th fret using your first finger. Now, in the scale charts, I depicted all the blues tritones as black dots. So those, make sure you note where those are within each scale position. Here we go. Here's the first one. And now backwards. Remember, those blues tritones are passing tones, so you don't stop on those notes, you play through them. Here's a little bit more up to speed. Alright, now let's go on to the second scale position. This is going to start down in the 3rd fret using your second finger. And make sure you, as you're going through them, again, memorize where these blues tritones are. Alright, so you're starting with the 3rd fret with your second finger. Now on the 5th string, I'm going to shift down to the 1st fret and use that first finger to hit the 1st and 2nd frets there. The blues tritone right there. One at the very end as well. Alright, now let's go on to the 3rd scale position. This one's going to start in the 5th fret of the 6th string with your first finger. Here we go. It's going to start with the tritone there on that 6th string. 6th fret. One there again. And one on the 1st string as well. All right, now let's go on to the 4th scale position. This one's going to start in the 7th fret using your first finger. Here we go. All right, now let's go on to the 5th scale. That one's going to start on the 10th fret using your 2nd finger. Here we go. And there on the 4th string. On this scale, I'd like to move my first finger up to the 10th fret to do the 1, 2, 3 with the fingers there. So that's just an alternate fingering you can use for this scale. You could use your 2nd, or you can use your 1st. All right. Now there's also an open position, which is an octave lower than that 12th fret we did, the first one. So we're going to do the first position as an open position. Follow me with this one. There's one on that 5th string. Very common position. All right, so that's all 5 blues scales in the key of E. Remember, they're just like the E minor pentatonic scales, but with that blues tritone added. Learn them all the way up and down the neck, and then we'll be using them to make leads and melodies.